Nut flours for chronic kidney disease patients. Nut flours are a versatile alternative to wheat flour that offer numerous health benefits for individuals with CKD to maintain your kidney health. High in protein and rich in flavor, these flours can be used in a variety of recipes to add both nutrition and taste. With some creativity and knowledge, incorporating nut flours for kidney disease into your diet can provide an enjoyable and kidney-friendly eating experience. So let's talk about the benefits of nut flours for those with chronic kidney disease and explore how to easily substitute them into a renal diet. Are you tired of struggling with your health? If you're someone living with chronic kidney disease, I've got great news for you. Hello, I'm Mathia Ford, a registered dietitian nutritionist specializing in CKD and owner of renaldiethq.com. I specialize in helping people just like you improve their health by making simple yet delicious changes to your meals. Together, we can transform your eating habits, boost your overall well-being, and ensure that you're enjoying every bite along the way. Say goodbye to bland and boring meals and say hello to a healthier, more vibrant life. Let's get started on this incredible journey to better health together. Visit renaldiethq.com today and take the first step towards a healthier lifestyle. What are nut flours? Nut flours are a great alternative for people with kidney disease who want to use less gluten in their diet. People with kidney disease can use nut flours in baking recipes as a substitute for all-purpose flour, but should be mindful of the amount used due to their perishable nature. Moreover, some types have higher levels of potassium and phosphorus content than others, so this should be looked out for as well. I'm going to put a link to a blog post I wrote about this topic that actually gives you the nutritional information for the different types of nut flours, so you can check that out in the link below. As a refresher, a kidney-friendly diet for people with kidney disease requires limiting sodium intake, avoiding high potassium foods, restricting your phosphorus intake, meeting your daily protein requirements, and managing your fluids. All of those can be different requirements at different stages of chronic kidney disease, and strictly adhering to a diet for kidney disease is beneficial in reducing kidney damage, keeping your blood pressure normal, and preventing further complications such as damage to blood vessels. When it comes to using alternative flours, it's important to consider the comparative analysis of nutritional differences between all-purpose flour and its substitutes. Nut flours are known for their nutrient density, lower glycemic index, higher protein content, and improved digestibility compared to wheat flour. These qualities make nut flours a great option for renal patients who need to watch their nutrient intake. Nutritional analysis shows that almond flour has more protein than wheat flour, making it an excellent source of a plant-based protein. Pecan flour is also high in fiber content, which can help maintain healthy digestion. Hazelnut flour is rich in magnesium, which is essential for maintaining strong bones. Chestnut flour has a low glycemic index, which helps regulate blood sugar levels and prevents energy crashes throughout the day. By incorporating nut flours into your diet as an alternative or in addition to all-purpose flour, you can enjoy delicious baked goods while reaping the benefits of a more nutritious ingredient. If you're looking to add a nutritious twist to your traditional baking, alternative flour options like nut flours can be a great substitute for those watching their nutrient intake. However, for renal patients who need to limit their phosphorus and potassium intake, nut flours typically contain higher amounts of these minerals, so consulting with a renal dietitian may be needed. You may also choose to just mix them with regular all-purpose flour to get a little bit more of the protein content or a little bit different flavor, but not all of the higher phosphorus and potassium levels. For those looking for gluten-free products, instead of using regular white flour in pancakes, you can add some almond or coconut flour for some extra protein. For those looking to add extra fiber in their kidney diet, you can also use kidney-friendly ingredients like whole grain breads made from nut flours as a base for sandwiches or toast. Nut flours are not just limited to sweet treats. They can be used in savory dishes like meatballs or crumble toppings. Using nut flour instead of breadcrumbs in meatballs will give them an added boost of protein and flavor. Nut flour crumble toppings are perfect for adding texture and richness to casseroles or roasted mixed vegetables. With the versatile nature, incorporating nut flours into your cooking is an easy way to make your meals more nutritious and delicious. Nut flours offer many health benefits that make them a great option for kidney patients. Here's some reasons why you should consider incorporating at least some nut flours into your diet. They are higher in protein. Nut flours are a rich source of a plant-based protein, making them perfect for those with kidney disease who need to limit their animal protein intake or who need to be on a high protein diet, such as people with kidney disease on dialysis. They're low in carbohydrates. Compared to wheat flour used in traditional baking, nut flours have fewer carbs and can help regulate blood sugar levels. Nuts contain healthy fats like monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, which can protect against heart disease. When cooking with nut flours for kidney disease, it's essential to keep in mind some tips and potential drawbacks. Because they have no gluten, which provides a structure in baking, the end product will be denser and crumblier than traditional whole wheat flour products. Because of the high oil content in nuts, nut flour can become rancid quickly if not stored correctly. To incorporate more nut flour into your kidney failure diet, try using almond or hazelnut flour when baking bread or muffins. You could also use pecan or walnut flour as a substitute for breadcrumbs on meat dishes like chicken fingers or fish sticks. Finally, coconut flour is an excellent option for making gluten-free pancakes or waffles. With its many benefits and countless recipe ideas available online, incorporating nut flours into your kidney diet plan is an easy way to boost nutrition while still enjoying delicious baked goods. You can easily make your baked goods healthier and more flavorful by swapping out traditional wheat flour for nut flours, giving you a guilt-free treat that'll leave your taste buds satisfied. However, it's important to keep in mind that nut flours are not a one-to-one swap for wheat flour. You'll need to adjust your baking techniques and recipe adaptations to ensure the best results. When you're substituting nut flours, consider flavor combinations and texture considerations. Each type of nut flour has its own unique flavor profile and works better in certain baked goods than others. For example, almond flour has a rich, nutty flavor that works well in pancakes, breads, meatballs, burgers, and as a breading for chicken and fish. Pecan flour has a maple flavor that is ideal for muffin, cookies, and streusel toppings. If you're new to using nut flours in your baking or want to experiment with different blends of flours, they have some pre-made blends available at many health food stores or online retailers. Nut flour blends combine different types of nuts for optimal nutrition and flavor profiles for people with kidney failure. Starting with almond flour, you'll find that a 1/4 cup serving contains about 6 grams of protein and 3 grams of fiber, making it a great choice for those with CKD. Tiger nut flour, which is actually made from a tuber rather than a nut, is rich in fiber and iron and has a slightly sweet taste that works well in baked goods. What is a tuber? A tuber is a plant that mainly grows underground. Potatoes and yams are examples of tubers. Cashew flour is another option to consider as it's high in protein and healthy fats, while also being relatively low in carbohydrates. Walnut flour is also worth exploring due to its high levels of omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants. Finally, don't forget about other types of nut flours like hazelnut, pecan, or pistachio, which can add unique flavors and nutritional benefits to your recipes. A 28-gram serving of almond flour, which is actually an ounce, contains 6 grams of protein and only 2 grams of net carbs. This makes it an ideal ingredient for a gluten-free diet, healthy recipes, low-carb diets, and diabetic-friendly desserts. Intake of almond flour is a sure nutrition boost as it is rich in vitamin E, magnesium, and fiber. Almond flour is a nutritious alternative to wheat flour that can be used in various baked goods such as cakes, cookies, breads, and muffins. It has a slightly nutty flavor that complements both sweet and savory dishes. Plus, it adds moisture and richness to baked goods without adding unhealthy fats or sugars. However, almond flour is relatively high in terms of potassium content and the amounts of phosphorus, so it's best to consume it in small amounts if those are nutrients of concern for you. Tiger flour is high in nutrients like fiber, iron, magnesium, and vitamins E and C. However, it's also high in potassium. It has prebiotic properties that promote good gut health. Some popular brands of tiger flour include Organic Gemini Tiger Nut Flour and Anthony's Goods Tiger Nut Flour. Tiger flour can be a great alternative to traditional wheat flour. It has less protein than other nut flours like almond or coconut flour, but still provides the same benefits with its added prebiotic properties for gut health. With its natural sweetness and versatility in recipes, it's worth giving tiger flour a try as a substitute for wheat-based flours in your baking needs. If you're looking for a new gluten-free flour to add to your baking repertoire, you should definitely try cashew flour. It's packed with nutrients and has a delicious nutty flavor. Cashews are a rich source of healthy fats, protein, and minerals like magnesium and copper. Using cashew flour in your baking can help boost the nutritional content of your baked goods. Cashew flour can be used in a variety of recipes, from cakes and cookies to savory dishes like breaded chicken or fish. It adds a rich, nutty flavor that pairs well with savory or sweet ingredients. However, it's important to note that cashew flour is more perishable than traditional wheat flour due to its higher fat content. To avoid spoilage, store it in an airtight container in the fridge or freezer. I'm going to talk more about storage in a minute. Walnut flour is a delicious and nutritious alternative to traditional wheat flour, offering a buttery flavor and high fat content that can add a unique touch to your baking. In addition to being gluten-free, walnut flour also contains more omega-3 fatty acids than any other nut flour, making it an excellent choice for those looking to boost their heart health. Its rich flavor pairs well with fall-inspired ingredients such as pumpkin, cinnamon, and apple. When using walnut flour in baking applications, keep in mind it has a higher fat content than traditional wheat flour and may require recipe adjustments. It's important to note that some individuals may have allergies or sensitivities to tree nuts like walnuts, so be sure to check with your renal dietitian before incorporating this ingredient into your kidney diet plan. You can add variety and nutrition to your gluten-free diet by trying out different types of nut flours, each with its own unique flavor and potential health benefits. Other types of nut flours include hazelnut flour with its buttery taste that complements chocolates and figs, chestnut flour, which pairs well with Christmassy flavors like apples, oranges, caramel, and chocolate, pistachio flour, which has a rich, savory taste that goes well with cardamom or raspberries, coconut flour, which has a more tropical flavor than other nut flavors. You can experiment with these different options to find new baking combinations that suit your palate. Here's some meal planning hacks that you can do. Swap out whole wheat flour for flours with a higher protein content, even just part of it, to try it. Try using as breadcrumbs for meatballs or meatloaf paired with mixed vegetables. Substitute a half plain gluten-free blend with half nut flour in cakes. Aside from nut flours, other types used as alternative flour include brown rice flour, white rice flour, chickpea flour, and yellow corn flour. When you switch from wheat flour to nut flours, you may notice that your baked goods are denser and softer due to the absence of gluten. They will also have a higher fat content, which can contribute to a richer taste. The lack of gluten in nut flours means they won't produce baked goods with as much structure, chew, or bounce, resulting in a tender and delicate texture. However, the high fat content in nut flours produces an almost buttery end product because the natural oils are released when baked. To help you understand the differences between using wheat flour and nut flours in baking, here's a table outlining some key points. Wheat flour, of course, contains gluten, creates this chewy and structured texture, and also can find at most grocery stores, whereas nut flours are gluten-free, produces a soft and tender texture, and may require specialty stores or an online purchase. Despite having different textures than wheat flour, nut flours still have plenty of baking applications. Each type of nut flour will lend its own unique flavor profile to your baking creations, making them distinct from traditional wheat flour-based treats. If you're looking to make a switch from wheat flour to nut flours in your baking but are worried about the lack of gluten, don't worry. There are plenty of binder substitutions available that can help you achieve the perfect texture and structure. Substitution options include eggs, egg substitutes, ground flax seeds, chia seeds, banana, maple syrup, brown rice syrup, applesauce, or oat flour. These binding agents work by holding the ingredients together in place of the gluten. When using these binding agents for recipe modification with nut flours, it's important to keep taste testing in mind. The amount of binder needed can vary depending on the recipe and the desired outcome. It's recommended to start with small amounts and gradually increase until the desired texture is achieved. You may have to test your recipes multiple times to get the right flavor. To keep your nut flours fresh and flavorful, you should store them in a sealed bag or jar in the fridge or freezer, where they can remain cool and dry until the next time you need to add a rich, nutty taste to your baked goods. Proper storage is essential for maintaining freshness and extending shelf life. Here's some preservation techniques that will help you ensure your nut flours stay at their best. Keep them in an airtight container. This prevents moisture from getting in and causing mold or spoilage. Label them with the date. Nut flours can lose flavor over time, so it's important to know how long they've been stored. Write the date on the container so you can use them before they expire. Nut flours should also be bought in small quantities due to their perishable nature. Store them away from strong odors. Nut flours absorb smells easily, so make sure they're not near anything with a strong scent like onions or garlic. By following these tips, you'll be able to enjoy your nut flours for a longer period without worrying about spoilage or loss of flavor. Whether you're using almond flour for pancakes or pecan flour for muffins, proper storage is key to ensuring delicious results every time. So go ahead and stock up on your favorite nut flours. Just remember to store them properly. Nut flours offer health benefits for individuals with chronic kidney disease. Adding these versatile alternative flours to your kidney diet plan can provide you with a high protein content and a rich, nutty flavor to your meals. Just be sure to use them correctly and with the guidance of a healthcare professional like your kidney dietitian, so you can also take care of your phosphorus and potassium levels based on your dietary restrictions. With so many types of nut flours available, there's no reason not to explore their potential and incorporate them into your cooking repertoire. Remember, store them properly in an airtight container in the refrigerator or freezer for optimal freshness. With these tips and knowledge in mind, you are ready to experiment with different types of nut flours and include them in your healthy diet.